I'm Kamika Dillard, certified ACC professional coach and CEO of S.A.V.E Forward Coaching. At S.A.V.E Forward Coaching, professional growth isn't one size fits all. That's why we've created 3 ways to support you. DOT for building clarity and direction, RISE for resilience and intentional action, and VISION for long-term strategy and leadership. Each program is designed to help you move through setbacks with confidence and clarity and create momentum that lasts. No pressure, no hustle, just real progress. Ready to explore what's possible? Book a free discovery call at s.a.v.e.forwardcoaching.com. Welcome to the Black Women Will Say Black Women podcast, the podcast where we support, amplify, validate, and elevate Black women always. I am your host, Kamika Dillard, and this is our sanctuary, a space built on the belief that when Black women show up for each other, we don't just survive, we save. This is more than a podcast, it's a movement, so let's get into it. In this week's S.A.V.E Forward Files, I've been having to check myself a lot lately, y'all. I've been making a lot of mistakes, not because I don't know what I'm doing. I know what I'm doing, I promise you. But I'm trying to rush through things, okay? I'm trying to rush the processes. I want to hurry up and get there. I want things to click faster. I want decisions made to land sooner. I want momentum to feel immediate. And oftentimes in that urgency, I've been skipping steps, moving too fast, fixing things that didn't need to be fixed, and breaking things along the way. And the truth is, impatience has been costing me clarity. And I've had to slow myself down and admit that speed doesn't equal progress. Oftentimes we're used to seeing things moving quickly and we make the assumption that, we're doing things. But sometimes when you're going fast, you might be creating more of a mess that requires more cleaning up. Slowing down doesn't mean that you're falling behind. I have to remind myself that all the time. If I am moving slow, that just means I'm giving myself space to get things right the first time. So I know the saying goes something like measure twice, cut once. If you are moving with more intention, you won't have to go buy new pieces of wood because you have measured one time and cut it 3-4 times incorrectly. So the lesson for me for this week really is that slowness is still moving forward. I don't need to rush what's meant to be built with care. I don't need to force outcomes that require time. And I don't need to punish myself for being a work in progress. This season that I am in has been asking me to move with more patience and not pressure. And I'm sure that resonates with a lot of us right now. So that is this week's S.A.V.E Forward File. All right, we have a very special guest in the sanctuary. I am joined today by Tanisha Coach T Stewart. She's the owner of Kid Fit LLC, certified menopause coaching specialist, and NASM personal trainer. Coach T helps women over 40 transform their bodies and reclaim their health, while also serving as a PE specialist for nearly 650 students. She's the creator of Pray, Shed, Win, a sought-after speaker, and a multi-time Teacher of the Year nominee who brings purpose, faith, and unmatched energy to everything she does. Let's welcome to the sanctuary, Coach T.
Hey. So happy to be here. Thank you for sharing the sanctuary with me. I am honored to support you and all the ladies that are tuning in.
I am so happy that you are here. Like truly, we had our intake call, and yes, she is another soror. I know y'all sick of us. It's okay. Yeah, y'all gonna get all this Delta love, okay? I just keep bringing them in. They keep finding me, okay? I was so
I
excited.
did not know that in
We
advance.
did not.
We did not know.
But you know what I keep saying? We have this joke. Well, it's not a joke, but Myra, we have one of our group chats. It's called "What Would Myra Do?" And we always say that Myra just brings us all together. Okay, somehow, some
Yes.
way, she gonna bring us all together. So it is not accidental. I always say it's intentional that the universe is conspiring for all these deltas to be in the sanctuary. It's okay. I had one, AKA Linese. She was here.
Yes, and I would hug her. If she was here right now, I would hug
Yeah,
her.
she was super sweet. But I loved our intake call in our conversation because, you shared so much around how you even got to the work that you are like doing right now. And you said the moment that changed for you was your near death experience with COVID.
Yeah. So let's get into it, right?
Yes.
It was March, when the world shut down. If no one remembers exactly, I remember. I remember it being March 6th, and we were home and I was chilling. Like I was enjoying working from home, teaching from home, like being safe with my kids at home. And then I started not feeling well. And I knew it wasn't COVID, right? Because if I caught it, it was going to be from my couch.
Yeah.
Like, where is this? I wasn't out. I was not outside. So I started feeling just really bad. I was telling my mom that I didn't feel well. She suggested going into the ER. And I'm like, that's where
Mm-mm.
the sick people are. I'm not trying to be out there. But I woke up with a fever and I'm like, what is going on? And so I drove myself to the ER and left my kids with their dad. And the doctor was like, how did you get here? They started running all these tests. Turns out I was diagnosed with bilateral pyelonephritis. Layman's terms, double kidney infection.
Oh.
Did not have COVID, but I was in sepsis. Sepsis means your blood is basically poisoned and trying to kill you. And so they're checking me for organ failure. They're literally every 3 hours running blood tests and all this stuff. And the doctor's like, how did you get here? There's no way you drove yourself here. And I'm like, well, yeah. And I fed my kids and did everything else before y'all. Like, what you mean? And it was crazy. Not only did that happen, right? And it wasn't COVID. And of course, everyone assumed it was COVID. But I did not follow the normal process. So you're supposed to have a UTI, which most people are, accustomed to having, a urinary tract infection, then a bladder infection, then a single kidney infection, then it can progress to a double kidney infection, right? Well, if you know me, I go, from 0 to 100 real quick. So I skipped everything. I went straight just to near death. Like I didn't have any of the regular things. And so that was the very first time in my life that I ever felt alone. Because keep in mind, COVID, no one can visit you. No one can stop by, check on you. Like none of those things could happen. So I'm in hospital room and my church members are literally outside praying. They don't even know I'm in there. That was just kind of the order of business for the day. Let's go to the hospitals and pray in the
Mm.
parking lot. And so I'm like, oh my goodness, people are outside praying for me and they don't even know I'm in here. And I asked the Lord, I literally got up out of the bed, and it was one of the hardest things for me to do. And keep in mind, fitness was something that I appreciated, but not necessarily something that I was like deep in, right? So, because I was teaching physical education at that time. So it's like, yeah, let's move our bodies. But I literally asked the Lord, like, what do you want me to do? Like, if there's anything for me to take from this moment, what is it? And I really felt the Holy Spirit sharing with me that I needed to help women specifically get healthy, like be intentional about their health and wellness, regardless of where you were on your health journey, right? Because I was like the healthiest near death person that the doctor had ever seen. He's like, "How are you healthy? And like, this doesn't even make sense." And so after I left, like I was very intentional about offering like online fitness, free fitness for moms and kids, and like building a community where we support each other, love each other, and give simple ways that we can get healthy, maintain health, and not just physical, right? Spiritual, emotional, financial, like whatever area in your life that is suffering, that is what my intention is. And so I'm very, very, very grateful to be here with you. And I mean that, like, in the whole sense of I'm grateful to be here.
I'm grateful that you're here too. I mean, to go from 0 to 100 with failing kidneys, and there were no signs other than that
No.
one fever.
One fever, like my back, I had some lower back pain. And I was like, maybe that's from working out. I didn't think I was
Mm.
doing. So, ladies, if that lower back, is giving you some trouble, you may want to check it out.
So, before you dive deep into the wellness and education space, you spent actually a considerable amount of time in corporate America.
I did.
What did corporate life teach you about how Black women neglect their health?
Oh, honey. I was probably the poster child for trying every single fad diet known. And I mean, if you come up with something that I didn't try, I would still now be like, tell me more. Just because I was so into it. I was doing the Beyonce lemonade diet. People were trying to do colonics. We're drinking crazy stuff. It's like, oh, there's donuts and whatever in the break room. Let's see how many days we can go without doing that. It was crazy. I was in corporate America for 14 years um, as an audit professional. And so I was literally the person. Imagine me, the auditor, coming in and wanting to help you get your business to top level, right? I was an operational auditor, and it was so strange that it got to the point my office area was called the green zone. That was not what I was hired to do, but people would come over for prayer. People wanted a snack. I had pads and tampons in the drawer. Like I was literally the safe space. Get put your feet up, and I'm like, I'm supposed to be running these risk and controls. At 10 in the morning, we're taking breaks, running the stairs because we're like, hey, we got to lose some weight, right? And I wasn't even certified personal trainer, none of that back then. I just wanted to be able to wear my power suit. I wasn't buying another suit. So, like, this has to fit. And it was a culture, right? So in that space, it was always like a diet, someone's doing salads this week or whatever, because people were trying to stay healthy, but they didn't have a healthy approach to being healthy, if that makes sense. It
That
was
makes
always
sense.
like a crash course, a 10-day something, a 20-day something. Like, how can we get fit fast? I'm going to the beach for my birthday. I got to fit in the swimsuit. Like it was always something unnecessary to try to take care of your necessary vessel. And when you shared, you're talking about your fail forward moment, like, man, because I literally wrote down impatience has been costing clarity. And I think that that's how I ended up in this space because I wanted clarity, not just for me, but for everyone that I can touch virtually or otherwise. It's like we cannot be so impatient on this health journey that it costs us the clarity that we need to take care of ourselves.
So, how did you make the pivot from corporate to being in the health and wellness space? It seems like there was a something pulling at you because at your corporate life in your corporate job, you were providing that space and clarity around wellness, pushing wellness. So, when did you decide to make that full pivot?
It wasn't really me. Like when we talk about failing forward, I had gotten to a space. I was divorced. It was fresh. My dad had passed, and I really felt like this pull away. And I couldn't describe it like at the time, because I'm like, I'm not leaving my job, right? I can't leave my career with two small children and a fresh divorce, you know? So it's like, how's this working, Lord? What's happening here? But things started to shut down. Like mentally, I literally started to forget how to do my job. I would go in and I'm like, what am I doing today? It was like this, I couldn't even call it brain fog. It was just like this way of like, I have no idea what's going on. And one morning, as I drove in, I'm always praying. And I'm like, what's today? And I felt the Holy Spirit tell me to go into the HR director's office. And I'm like, wow, for what? Like, what are we going to do there? What, well, what's happening?
Holy Spirit, I don't know about this one.
I don't know about this one. Like, what's going on in her office? You know? And I said, if I'm going in here, you need to go with me because what am I even saying? Like, I had no clue. And I go in, and her office is so bright. And I've been in her office, you know, countless times because I'm the auditor. I'm in everybody's office, right? So I'm like, man, the glory of the Lord is like right here. It's so bright. And when I sit down, I'm just kind of like, hey, good morning. You know, like what's happening? And she's like, hey. And long story short, she said to me, this is going to seem very unconventional, and I'm definitely not supposed to do this given my role. However, I feel the Lord is telling me to tell you, and we don't talk about the Lord, corporate man, what? That's not
That's unheard of.
not
Seriously.
not happening. She said, I feel the Lord telling me to tell you to follow peace. And then she starts to tell me her story, and I'm just like, okay. And when I left her office, I put in my 30-day notice.
Oh wow.
I had no idea what was next. That is not your girl. That's not me. I was a planner through and through. And so when I left, I did not know where my feet would land. And
Mm.
I started getting all of these calls and emails, and, you know, I hadn't even started looking for a job. I didn't know what I was supposed to be doing. And every interview was the perfect role. Everyone. It was like, "Oh my gosh, this is amazing. I'm going to do this, and we want you. We're sending the offer letter." And then crickets.
Mm.
And then the next one would come, and I'm like, "Oh my gosh, this is it. It's going to be amazing." And crickets. And then after about 3 of those, I knew, I was like, I'm being kept from faith to faith. If you've heard that, I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm being kept from faith to faith.
Wait, what
And
does that
my
mean, Coach T? I don't think I've heard that term.
faith to faith. So, like, I have faith for what is happening right now. So, in this moment, I am trusting and believing that our conversation is going to help someone, that someone will get what they need. And whether or not I see the end of that or not, I'm believing that. And then something else happens, and I don't even see the end, right? I don't see how many people are helped, you know, but something else happens. And it's like, oh my gosh, this is amazing, right? And I don't see the end of that, right? But we know that that interaction was great and wonderful. So there's faith for this moment until there's faith for the next moment, until there's faith for the next moment,
Mm.
right? So
Okay.
faith to faith.
Okay. I love it. So
And
so
yeah,
you were in this faith journey. You were seeing
mhm,
doors being they were opening, but they weren't completely like fully
yeah,
open.
they
so
weren't locked in.
so how much of that did you finally say, "All right, God, I'm listening to what you're saying, and
Oh,
now
I was there.
I'm about to step into this health journey."
No, I was there the whole time. It was like, where are you taking me? So that faith to faith was like, okay, where am I going? Because whatever I'm going to end up in is going to be better than that. Okay. So I just stayed the course because I knew to keep listening, right? So it wasn't a waste, it was a journey.
Mm-hmm.
Everything was part of the journey. So, in the meantime, I get a message from my kid's school saying we need substitute teachers. And I'm like, "Oh yeah, I could do that while about
Yeah.
to get this job offer, right? So, oh, I can help the kid. Oh, that's cute. I can help the kids at the school. And let's pivot there for a second because I was not the person that you would guess to be at the school, right? I was the one walking in, what y'all need because these kids are bad. Hanging out with these kids. I would go to the zoo for the field trip and I'm worn out. I'm like, how are y'all doing this every day? What is going on? But when I stepped into that space, I knew I was supposed to be there. This was very different from any other experience that I had before at the same place. So it was me being open and knowing that I was on a journey. And when I got there, I knew I was right where I was supposed to be. And then things just kept multiplying and happening in that space.
And so you chose to focus on health. I think it's so interesting because for Black women specifically, health is often the first thing that gets sacrificed when life gets hard.
Every time.
And we have a lot of Black women right now who are dealing with job loss,
Hmm.
financial stress, uncertainty. What happens to the body that a woman may not even realize is happening when they're dealing with duress like this?
Yeah. So I love this question because we don't know. We just know that we're fighting, right? Like in our minds. But your body is also fighting. So we're in this fight, flight, or freeze. Have you heard that
I
term?
have.
So we're fighting, but we don't know what we're fighting, right? Because there's not a physical person there. Whereas if we're in an argument or disagreement or we're being abused, we know that there's a person. But if you've lost your job, if you're trying to figure out how to make ends meet, if your kids are doing whatever they're doing and you don't know how to respond to it, your body is still trying to figure out what to do. That can cause your cortisol levels to spike. And that is one of your hormones that tells you your body when you're safe and when you're not. And so you start to gain weight, maybe. Sometimes you lose weight, right? It depends on your body. But sometimes if we're stressed, we stress eat, or we sleep more because we're experiencing depression. We may eat and then sleep, and so our bodies don't know what to do. We may not be drinking water because we may be sipping on something else.
That part.
And, it's like, what am I to do? I don't know what to do. And then before you know it, you've been, sitting around in sweats or PJs, and then you need to put on real clothes, and you're like, I can't fit anything. And then what? Well, I'm gonna eat some more because I can't fit anything anyway. And I'm gonna drink a little more because I can't do anything else anyway. And so your body is fighting instead of trying to save itself,
Mm.
right? So then we have to figure out how we can prioritize ourselves the same way we would a parent, a loved one, a kid, somebody we really care about, our best friend. Like, what would we do for them? And then do that for ourselves.
And I think that's easier said than done. And we know that, you cannot take care of others if you are not here. But what
Yeah.
does prioritizing yourself actually look like in real life?
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good question. I think it starts one moment at a time. So like when we wake up, what's the first thing you do when you wake up?
Oh, you caught me on the wrong week. Wait, she didn't reverse. She didn't hit me with a Uno reverse. Hold on, okay? Because if I'm being real honest, I'm not in routine like I normally do. So normally
Mhm.
when I first wake up, I wake up and I want to be in peace. I want to be in silence for at least 5 minutes, 10 minutes. But I haven't been. I've been waking up and the first thing I pick up is that damn phone. which I had
Mhm.
not been doing. But when I'm in routine, I
Mhm.
normally I'm in silence for about 5 to 10 minutes, and then I wanna get my brain going. I do some puzzles, some mental puzzles, and then
Mhm.
I drink my hot water with lemon because 'cause we're in our batty Chinese phase with my little goji berries, okay? And then, what I used to do, because I'm not, like I said, I'm not in routine like I need to be. But what I used to do or normally do is I go work out first thing in the morning because I
Mhm.
want my synapses like firing immediately. And that natural dopamine hit that I get from working out carries me for the next 6 hours. And then,
Mhm.
I can come home, I'll fix my breakfast, fix my mom's breakfast, and then I'll start work. But that's not what has been happening. That's not what has been happening. I've been completely out of routine lately. I'm not sleeping like I should be sleeping, which is why I
Mhm.
started with the fail forward that I started with, because one of my line sisters, well, it's a group of us in the chat, but one of them specifically called me out because she noticed my lack of patience. And
Mm.
she said, "Oh, you're not sleeping. I can tell you're not sleeping because you're so impatient lately." And I'm like, "Thank you for calling me out about it because I
Yeah.
haven't been sleeping right. Because I have normally a nighttime routine, Coach T,
Mm.
where
That's what I'm talking about.
yeah, where I normally shut about an hour before it's time for me to go to bed. I shut down all the screens. I take my shower. I put on my slow music, my chill R&B mix on Spotify. I start my shower. I do my eucalyptus lavender spray. All the things. I journal normally at night, but I
Mhm.
haven't been doing none of that. In fact, when I was leaving to come here, and I can't even believe you didn't flipped it and Uno reversed me, but when I was leaving to come here, and I knew I had all these episodes to tape, I said to myself, I haven't made my bed in 6 days,
Mm.
which is not normally how I operate. I
Mm.
normally want to come home, my room is clean, my bed is made, but I've been working in bed. I've been just completely out of routine. And
Yeah.
it's funny that you asked me this question because what I normally tell people to do is, you gotta start your day off you gotta start your day with a routine and end your day with a routine. And I'm so out of routine for both right now.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. Thank you for being vulnerable. Like, I know this is the sanctuary and you don't know any other way to be, but thank you. Thank you for answering the question because you answered it so well. And the reason why I'm going to say that is most people are out of routine.
Mm,
So when we talk about priorities and what does that even look like and how do you start it and all that, you got to come from here, right? Like everybody's all over the place doing things. Like, I mean, even here in Texas, baby, it's been a snow mageddon for the last 4 days. We haven't even been in school, right? We've just been trying to make sure that we have enough snacks. So routine is like, what? But most people don't even have a routine or a thought of a routine or like the question you pose, like, what does prioritizing yourself even look like? What does that even look like? But you have so many things and you can still be out of routine.
yeah.
Like that's something that people aren't even like aware of. Like if I'm out of routine today, I just could throw the whole year away. It's January 30th, just throw the whole year away. I didn't do anything I said I was going to do. And that's just not realistic, right? So step 1 is even having a routine, figuring out what it is you want to do when you first wake up. Like I know that generally I like to have 5 to 10 minutes of quiet time, and I want to just give that peaceful space to myself. Maybe do a body scan in there and see, like, how am I feeling from my toes all the way to my hair follicles. But I'm grabbing the phone. So then when you grab the phone, it's like, is this what I really want to do in my day? Like, is this how I want to start my day? But giving yourself also permission to fail and start over. Right? But I think having a simple step. So for the ladies listening, if you don't have a routine, if you don't know what priority looks like for you in terms of prioritizing your health and wellness, you got to answer that question first. Like, what do I want it to be? so often we don't even know what that is or what it should be. For me, I like everything that you said. Starting your day, even a simple step, making up your bed. And why is that important? Let's even dig into that a little bit. When we travel and we walk into our five-star,
Oh,
hotel
yes.
room,
Hmm.
if that bed is not made, oh, you giving me another room. You giving me the
Baby,
penthouse suite. Like,
I'm calling. What do you mean you have not cleaned my room? I am not paying for this subpar service. That part.
but you're walking into your room every day.
Ooh, child. You ain't got to read me like this. I'm already knowing. And I know this resonates with our listeners because maybe you make your bed. Shout out to you that make your bed. Okay, I'm listen. I'm happy for people that make their bed. But even when I know I'm out of routine, Coach T, is if I start my day and I don't even brush my teeth, I go straight to my office and start working.
Yep.
And then I realize, oh, I ain't brushed my teeth. You trifling. You trifling. Like you're
Mhm.
gonna rush to get to work. And I used to do this a lot when I was working in corporate America, working from home,
Yep.
because
Yep.
oftentimes my first meeting was at 6 a.m. in the morning because I have stakeholders on the East Coast or I
Mhm.
had to talk to someone internationally. But I remember how disgusted I would be with myself that I would go straight to that office. My office is outside in my she shed, and
Yep.
I wouldn't have even brushed my teeth.
Yep.
It's
Yep.
just like where are our priorities? And so when I think a lot of our listeners are really overwhelmed. So what
Mhm.
are just maybe three practical strategies or routines that people can start with?
Yep. So I'm gonna give a couple of analogies so that we can look at it in a different way. So the first thing is, when I talk about treating yourself like you would your best friend, your mom, your dad, whatever, and even bringing that down because was like, well, we're not gonna do it. Okay, but if you're not going to do it, who is someone that you can partner with that'll make it happen? Like everybody has that best friend that'll be like, girl, get up. Like, you're not gonna do what? You've been complaining about XYZ and you're not gonna do anything about it. Give them permission to push in. Give them permission to tell you to get up. Give them permission to tell you to brush your teeth, right? So that's one way you could look at it. Second thing, what are you put actually, let's put this back with number 1. Your car. What are we driving? Let's say we're driving.
Alexis.
Tell me what you drive.
I drive a Lexus NX 300H. It's a hybrid because I want to examine the pipeline of Black women who went from Altimas to Lexuses. I think there's quite a few of us.
Let's go. Let's go. Now, how do you fuel it, darling? How do
Uh,
you fuel it?
so I was very purposeful in selecting my car because I didn't want to have to pay for premium fuel. But I
Mhm.
do go to the middle. I do 89. I don't do 92, but I do 89.
Mhm. And what would happen if you decided you're gonna put diesel in it?
Oh, girl, that car would blow up and then I will be upset. I don't like how you're flipping this on me, by the way. I didn't sign up to be coached and I'm being coached today, y'all, but that's okay because I talk about my own wellness venture. But the car will blow up, Coach T.
Really? Are you intentional about your car?
Very. So I'm one of the girlies that, I have, and actually thank you for reminding me. I gotta schedule my next tire rotation, my oil change. Like I stay on top of my things because I don't want to have to buy another car. Like my car is pretty much paid off and I'm not buying another one.
So, thank you for that insight because I want you to flip that. And now we're not talking about the Lexus. We're talking about Kamika.
Like I said, I was not prepared to be read like this by
I
Coach T.
mean, you up on the appointments, you making sure the fuel is right, you're making sure you don't miss. You like, look, you sat up. going to treat ourselves like our most prized, whatever it is that we're not going to miss. Whoever your favorite celebrity is, whoever your favorite person is, like, you're not going to not show up for them. You're not. So why are we not showing up for ourselves? Like, we have to every day put that top of mind. Like, even in this moment, like, man, my car. When you wake up, brushing your teeth, changing your oil, right?
Mhm.
Making your bed. If you had trash all in your car, come on now.
I don't do messy cars. And no
See?
no judgment. I don't like trash in my car.
But we put trash in our bodies. And we just think it's supposed to run right. Like, seriously, we think that our bodies are just supposed to just keep running. Like, I'm supposed to think clearly every day, and I'm eating chips and Snickers every day.
And I know it's
Whatever.
I feel like sometimes this is a easier said than done conversation because we can focus and it's close to the top of the year. Everyone has these New Year's resolutions that they want and I've already said I'm not a fan of New Year's resolutions.
Me either.
Not a fan of, starting stuff in the winter because one, it is cold. We should be hibernating, i.e., that's why you stuck in the house in Texas because uh, Sister Winter said, I got y'all today, okay, with the ice and the snow. But like, how is it possible for us to really dig into practical ways for us to take care of ourselves where it doesn't seem so cumbersome. We got to
Yeah.
keep in mind, especially as Black women, and I'm 43, I'll be 44 this year. I'm actually very stressful. I'm very honed in on my health, but I know sometimes when I be like, girl, come on, let's just go walk. Some
Yeah.
people don't even think about the simplicity of walking.
Yeah.
Like, how can we get these like super simple one step, do one thing if you can't do nothing else for your health? Like, what
Yeah.
does that one thing look like?
Yeah, and that was step 2, so we were still talking about step 1 with
Oh,
our car girl.
okay,
So
girl, my
step
bad.
2, no, but step 2 was creating a simple step and acting on it every day. I think people can walk every day. We need it. You can walk while watching your favorite show. Like, you could literally walk in place while watching your favorite show. If TV is your jam, or podcasting, because we listening to Black Women.
A
So you could be walking while you're doing this. Like, if I love, love, love Atomic Habits. So find something that you're going to do and put something that you don't want to do with it, because then you'll get it done. So if you know that you're going to be working from home, be standing up. Like, if you don't have access to one of those desks that move up and down, maybe ask the HR people.
that
Like,
part.
can we get that for me, because I need to be active. You can have a walking pad there. You could be moving while you're working, and before you know it, you have your 10,000 steps in. I recommend at least 10,000 steps every day. Drinking your water. The simple, simple, simple tip that I give all of my clients is setting an alarm every hour on the hour. 8 o'clock, I'm 10 swallows. That's a whole cup, right? If you do that, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock, by the time you get through your day, if you have an 8 hour day, 10 hour day, whatever your day is, 10 hours, that's 80 ounces of water that you've had just by drinking a cup every time the alarm goes off every hour on the hour. Those are very simple things that you can do that don't require you to overhaul your whole day. If you're ready to, like, take another step, right? I say order your groceries. Order them, and that'll save you in two ways. One, you'll see what you're spending before you check out, right?
Hmm.
Your cart is, the total is adding up, and it's like, no, I said I was spending $50 this week, or I said I was spending $100 or the whatever, and you see you're over, then you can make some adjustments instead of grabbing the chips and all the stuff in the checkout line. But ordering your groceries, picking them up or having them delivered, can push you to plan better, right? So it's like, what am I going to eat this week? Well, I'm going to eat what I've packed, and then maybe have some accountability there. So those are simpler things. The last one may be a little bit harder because you can still have all these groceries and then go to McDonald's. But
Not me.
Maybe you're less likely to do it if the money's not there to do it, right? So it's like, this is what I'm spending, this is all it is, and I got to eat this, I got to pack it, I got to prep it, whatever. So create a simple step, something that seems simple to you, and act on it. And then the third tip that I give is like, don't be afraid to fail. Like you just said that you have not been on routine, right? Like everything has been haywire. You haven't done all the things. That's okay. I did not hear you say, I'm done. I'm
No.
never doing my routine again, right?
No, no,
So
no.
so just don't give up. Like we say, we're gonna start something, we're gonna try something. I'm gonna start walking, I'm gonna start drinking my water, what? But we'll just throw the whole thing away. We miss a day, we miss a moment, we throw the whole thing away. I can't do it. Yes, you can. You just have to do it again. Like every day, trying something new, you have to make it like muscle memory, right? So if you do your hands like this, do you have your hands free or you have to hold your
No, 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 I can do it.
Okay, so your hands are here,
We're
and
clasping
then
hands.
naturally do this, okay?
Hmm.
So is your right thumb on top, your left thumb on top?
My right thumb is on top of my left thumb.
Okay, so now let's open and let's shift it so that all your fingers move, and now your left thumb is on top.
Got it.
How does that feel?
I'm a little unnatural, but it's
Yes,
fine. Yeah.
but not painful, not harmful, the
No,
world is not falling.
no.
If that's what change feels like.
Mm,
So every day, if you practice that, every day, it'll start to feel less and less unnatural. It still may not be your first choice,
mm.
but you'll get more accustomed to that, right? And you may find that, oh, hmm, I actually just kind of put my hands together. Maybe not, but
Okay.
that's what change feels like. And so people feel like change should feel like this is your new thing that you're going to do forever. No, that's not what change feels like. Change feels like this.
Mm.
You feel it.
I think that's interesting. You use that as an analogy for change, considering, I started this podcast because there was so many Black women who were laid off and let go. And those are massive changes, massive
Matt.
changes. And I kind of want to transition into us talking about other changes, specifically around perimenopause and menopause, which are these huge changes that, I'm 43. I'm perimenopausal. I don't care what nobody say. I'm perimenopausal. Peri comes for me on a daily basis. Okay, I don't like that hoe. But when we are dealing with this elephant in the room around perimenopause and menopause, and the changes that we are dealing with, why are so many Black women specifically so unprepared for this phase of life?
Did you talk about it with your mom growing up as a kid?
No, and in fact, that's such a great question. I went and asked all my homegirls, do you remember when your mama was going through perimenopause and menopause? And like, either we had a couple of responses, especially amongst Black women. Mommy didn't go through that because she had a hysterectomy, which my mom did.
Yeah.
Or, oh, no, no, no. Like, I don't remember. I just remember mom being a little crazy,
Mm.
when she was in her late 40s, 50s, et cetera.
Mhm.
And we're seeing now data coming in that most divorces are happening around the time of these changes because no one knows how to deal with it. It's so unexpected. You know what I'm saying? So, no, I don't recall having a conversation with anybody about perimenopause or menopause.
And I think that that's why part of the reason why we're so unprepared. I think that if we have more information, especially, we are intelligent. We are the most intelligent beings, on earth, in my
Absolutely.
opinion, you know. But we feel more intelligent when we have more information. It is also something that is ever evolving and ever changing. My symptoms may not look like your symptoms, may not look like the symptoms of all the women that you've talked with and asked, like, how did this work for you? How did it work for you? I am also medical menopause, right? Because I had a hysterectomy. that was also in that same year that I almost died, and I almost died again because after my hysterectomy, I couldn't stop bleeding. So that's a whole nother thing, right? But we don't talk about what our bodies go through, what it looks like for you. We naturally think and say that, oh, it's just hot flashes, or maybe some people start talking about, vaginal dryness or things like that. Like we talk about some things, but we don't talk about all the things. We don't talk about brain fog. We don't talk about menopause belly, where we start looking pregnant and we're not pregnant. We don't talk about what sugar does to the body. We don't talk about all of these other things. We just think, oh, maybe it's this. And then we think that menopause lasts forever. Menopause is a snapshot. Menopause is a moment in time when you have not had a cycle for 12 months. That's menopause. It's done. You're either pre-menopause when you start your cycle, perimenopause when you start having like some things happen, shifts here and there and everywhere, and everybody has something. Menopause, and then it's post-menopause, and then we got early and late. We are always in a pause. Always in a pause. And it does not look the same for everyone. It looks different for most women. It's very rare to find a friend and say, "Oh my gosh, me too," at the same time. They
Yeah.
may have experienced it high, low, or in between, but not the exact same thing at the exact same time. It's very rare to have that. But we're all living it. I think the more conversations we have, the more experiences we have, the more chats like this that we have, I think it can give us more information and help us to feel more informed and intelligent about the topic. But we will never be all knowing because it continues to change. I hope that makes sense.
No, it makes complete sense. I mean, perimenopause is like fairly a new term because I
Mhm.
I knew about menopause and I consider myself very well educated. I think I learned the term perimenopause in my late 30s. I'd never heard it. What do you mean perimenopause? What are we talking about,
Who is
sis?
he?
Who is he and why is he here? And why do I have frozen shoulder? And then why are my ears ringing at like the worst time? Like in the brain fog, yes, we understand that, and the heightened anxiety. And now you just told me something called menopause belly, which I'm like, oh yeah, because somebody from my network sent me a picture talking about congratulations because they thought I was pregnant, and I was
Oh
like,
my gosh.
and not in this. I'm just fat. It's okay. Thank you very much. Like I appreciate it. Like how should we be thinking about these pauses, and maybe can you differentiate between the pauses and maybe how we should approach the symptoms?
I think that we should always be paying attention to our bodies. Like, that's always, like, even going back to your prior question, journaling food, how your body responds to it, all of that. The same thing with this, right? So, because you never know what the journal could reveal. It could reveal that sugar is causing your joint pain, right? It
Mm.
could reveal that you're going through one of the pauses. But if you have this journal, it's the same as like, okay, I'm laughing. But every time we go to the doctor and they say, "When was the first day of your last cycle?" Are you ready? Are
I
you
sure
always
am. I pull out my phone. See, Coach T, you don't know me. My line name is Ever Ready. I stay ready. Okay. I pull out my phone. I have all my information. I'm ready.
she's
Okay.
ready? Most people are not. Most people are fumbling, trying to figure out when the first day of the last cycle and all of those things, and they just keep going. But if we also have a journal of these are the things that I ate today, I am feeling strong, I'm feeling sad, I'm feeling depleted, I'm feeling energized. Like having those things on hand will help. The other thing is finding a healthcare practitioner that will listen to you when it comes to this. I've had an amazing gynecologist. Love him. He was there to help me take care, of all of my pregnancies, even my first miscarriage, like everything. But now I needed a new doctor. I needed someone that looked like me, that could relate to my experiences and that could tell me potentially what's going on because she's either experienced it or has so many people that she has helped to navigate through that. So I think that is very important because you may be like, for me, I'm post menopause, right? Because I've already experienced menopause 12 months after my surgery, right? So I'm post, but I'm taking a supplement that is for perimenopausal women because my estrogen, progesterone, all of those things are acting up in that way. They're acting peri and I'm post. So
Mm.
you can't even deal with it in a sense of like, oh, I'm premenopause because I'm 15 and I've started my cycle. And, but now my cycle is irregular. What do I need to do about that? Like, you have to start as soon as your body is here, keeping notes on what your body is doing and what your body is not doing so that you can see, is it my nutrition? Is it minerals? Is it supplements? Like, what do I need to do to make sure that my body is running like that Lexus, honey?
Oh Lord. When you say that, I know there's so much truth in it. And like, I hate tracking my food, and like, I try not to, like, whenever like my dietitian tells me you gotta track food, I'll be like, girl, I ain't tracking no food. Like, I'm letting you know right now, I don't have time to go
Yeah,
in and track my food. But I guess it is going back to prioritizing
it is.
yourself, like corporate work in a sense. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? If my job told me, "Oh, you need to log everything you have done today,"
Yeah.
and
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
it's a non-negotiable, right? It's a
It's
non-negotiable. Like, how I think like the message that I really want everyone who's listening to take away is that you have to prioritize yourself, like you have been prioritizing these corporate jobs.
Absolutely. It goes back to your job, your car, your best friend, your mom, whomever. You would set everything aside if that one person, whoever it is, needed you. If your car stopped running today, you're getting the car serviced. Like,
Absolutely.
you're not going to work. I
I
got,
can't.
I can't. So I gotta take my car in. You gotta treat your body like you would the person or the thing that you pay the most attention to.
I love it. Tell us more about pray, should, and when.
Oh my gosh. Pray Shed Win is my non-natural baby. It is a safe space that I created for women over 40 to be able to show up for themselves in community that feels safe, where they feel loved, where they feel valued, heard, seen, and also a way to take care of your body. And it doesn't feel like the hardest thing you've ever had to do, right? So it's a 90-day journey that can go longer if you feel like you want it to, but that's like our initial time together where we work out together. It's virtual, just like you and I here right now. So there's ladies from all over. It's intimate. It's not 1,000 people. I like to keep the group small, but it's a space where we work out together with simple movements, 3 times a week, 30 minutes. And then we check in, but not just on a like how much you weigh this week, because we don't even weigh. Like, that's not even something that drives me. It's after we talk about what our goals are, what it means to do things that matter. I call it our dream big experience as part of my onboarding, where we look at where are you in life? Like, what does your career look like? What does your love life look like? What do your habits look like? What is it that you're trying to accomplish? And it varies so much. Ladies that have wanted a promotion or to improve their or increase their pay or to just build a business, start dating again, all of those things. And they accomplish those goals because I check in with them personally. We talk through those things and then they win. So we pray after every experience together. We shed all the weight, whether it's physical, emotional, spiritual, financial woes, whatever they are. And then we win because we are doing it together and we're accomplishing things that matter most. So pray, shed, win.
I love it. How have Black women saved you? Support, amplify, validate, elevate.
You trying to make a sister cry.
Come on now. You didn't flipped it on me. Let me flip it on you.
I mean, there is no one that understands me better than Jesus and a Black woman,
Mm,
right? So when I can call my girlfriends and just say, "Hey," and they tell me, I tell them I see them, and they tell me I see you. Like just having an ear, having a safe space, having a hug, having an opportunity to show up. Like it brings me joy to be able to show up for people and it gives me purpose. And so I believe that I have had multiple, countless opportunities where Black women have saved me by giving me an opportunity to show up for them.
I love it. Where can the people find you?
Oh, almost anywhere. I am on LinkedIn, Tanisha Coach T Stewart, Instagram at KidFit LLC, KIDFIT LLC, on Facebook at KidFit LLC, and right here with Kamika on Black Women Will Save Black Women.
I love it. Coach T, this has been wonderful. I really enjoyed our conversation, even though I was not prepared for you to Uno reverse me on my own podcast. Okay. It's only you and, and my other line sister than Uno reverse me on my own podcast. But
That means we love you.
I appreciate it. Thanks for coming to the sanctuary. You've been awesome.
Thank you for having me. It's been a true pleasure and honor. Thank you.
Awesome. All right, y'all. So for this week's save strategy, we are going to focus on the E for elevate. Elevate your process, elevate your pace, elevate the way you move through your work, but not by rushing, but by respecting the time it takes to build something solid. Slowing down isn't a setback, it's an upgrade. So elevate how you view that and how you think through that. And that is simply this week's save strategy. As always, like, subscribe, follow Black Women Will Say Black Women wherever you get your podcast, especially on YouTube. Go ahead, because we got some trolls there. We got to drown those out. Follow Black Women Will Save on Instagram. Follow me, Kamika T Dillard, on Instagram, and Miss MISSKT Dillard on TikTok. Support, amplify, validate, and elevate Black women. That's how we save each other. And never forget that Black women will save Black women. I'm your host, Kamika Dillard. See you next time.